Welcome to another TCGU video brought to you by the Chariot Group. My name is Bob Jackman, and in this video we're going to continue our training on Smart Notebook software. This will be section 1.5, which will cover Smart Exchange and how you can use that to find lessons other teachers have created. So the Smart Exchange is a website where teachers can upload lessons they've created for their classroom. And so it's just a way to exchange lessons with other teachers. And so it's a great place to go to find lessons to utilize in your classroom. The nice part about these lessons is you don't just have to take them as they are, you can modify them and change them any way you want. A lot of teachers in the beginning will start by just taking them and using them in their classroom. I know of many teachers who will go after school one day onto the Smart Exchange and find a lesson that they can use for the next day. And so it becomes a great place to help you with your planning and achieving your learning objectives. So the way to get there is you can go to exchange.smarttech.com. Also on your toolbar you have an icon that looks just like this. It's like a blue square with a X with a head, a little person there. If you click that, that'll take you directly to that website. It's just a link to the website. When I get onto the Smart Exchange, you'll notice right in the middle is a giant search bar, and that's going to be where you want to go to search, and I would recommend going there and searching by concept or by topic. What is it you're teaching? So we'll do an example. We'll do, say, fractions. So I type in fractions and I click search. And once I get in here, you'll notice a couple of things. Very top, it tells me I'm searched for fractions. I can narrow down my subject. Right now it's set for all subjects and all grades. If I wanted to narrow down my grade, I could select all grades, and I can go through and select multiple grades, like maybe 3rd, 4th, and 5th, if I wanted to narrow it down that way. And then I could redo my search based on those criteria. I would recommend, if you're teaching, say, 3rd grade, you may want to do 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, one above and one below, if you want to narrow it down that way. Typically what I will do is do a search and kind of browse the results, and if it seems like I'm getting too many results, then narrow it down. These, the search terms and the subject and grade level is all entered in by the teacher when they upload their particular file, so it's up to them to have done it correctly. So not every teacher teaches things in the same order, especially before Common Core. Some things may have been taught in different grade levels in different states. So that's something you want to be a little bit broad on as you search, so that you can find things. If you narrow down your search too far, you may be missing search results just because you've narrowed your results too much. This first section says related premium resources. Those are lessons that do cost money. They're generally pretty good, the ones that I've looked at, but they vary in price from 99 cents to $15, so you can just skip over those if you want to. Then you come into this section. So here we've got fractions. We can see a brief explanation, the subject, grade level, who submitted it, a lot of information like that. Over here on the left, this is actually really helpful, is we can narrow down our results by the type. So we've got Smart Notebook lesson files, lesson activity builder activities, lots of different ways to narrow down those results. And so that can be one way to narrow that down, and that's something that's done automatically by the type of file that it is. So that can be pretty helpful. One thing we can do is we can click to preview. So if I click to preview, it's going to give me a preview of that lesson. Let's scroll back up here. And what that does is at least gives me a picture of each of the pages, so I can get an idea of what that content of this lesson would be. You may have a few pages that look blank like this. Oftentimes there is a flash interactive on that page, and that's why it appears that there's nothing there, is because those don't show up in the preview. When you download it, you'll actually be able to see that. I can at this point see at the top here it says that this has been downloaded 64,000 times and has 159 likes. The likes aren't really particularly helpful because not all teachers are liking things, but the downloads can be really helpful to help you see how many times that's been downloaded. But that gives you an idea. Then I can just click download, and it will go ahead and download that lesson file, and then I can click on it to open it. Now I may want to save that into a different folder. By default it should download to your downloads folder. Once I have the lesson open, I can go through the different pages and take a look at the content. Again, this would be a great time to switch to entire page so I can see the entire page. And then again, I can manipulate this if I want to. I can move some of these things around. Notice how some of the things are locked. We'll get into ways to manipulate those a little bit more later. So that's how to generally search through the Smart Exchange. If I go back to the home, I can also browse through the Smart Exchange by different things as well. So for example, in this middle section, I can browse by subject. I can just click on a subject and it'll pull up everything in that subject. So let's say math. But you'll notice what happens is I get at the top a lot of templates that teachers have created, and when they submit it, they just go through and check every subject. And because they tend to get downloaded a lot, they appear at the top of the list. And so even though they're generally not having to do with mathematics, they could be used for mathematics, you'll have a lot of stuff like that that can be kind of annoying, which again is why I tend to search by concept rather than that. You could also browse by grade level, and then also file type. So if you wanted to just browse that way, you could. But again, most often what I'm doing is searching by concept because I'm teaching something tomorrow. I'm going to see if there's something related to that that I've got coming up in my curriculum map for the next couple of days. So that's how you run with the Smart Exchange. You also can create an account on the Smart Exchange. You can join the Smart Exchange. It's free. You just need an email address. You can sign in. That allows you to upload your lessons to the Smart Exchange. And the nice part about doing that is you can share your lessons with the greater community. It's free to do so. Don't worry about whether or not your lessons are good. Just kind of upload and share. You can always go back up later and change those. We'll get more into that later. Next we can do is we can reset a page. And so there's a great feature called Reset Page, which allows us, as we're working with a lesson that we've downloaded, maybe there's an activity on there that we're going to manipulate, and then we want to reset that for somebody else. And so here's a lesson that I downloaded, that one on fractions that you probably saw earlier. So I'm going to open that up. And show you kind of what this looks like. So I'm going to come in here. There's a really great one. There we go. Put an X on 6 of the 7 pigs. So I can grab my pen, pick up, come in here and put X's over 6 out of the 7 pigs. Okay, and when I'm done, I want to reset this page so another student can come up and do that. What I would do is I could add that to my toolbar, so I can come up and customize my toolbar by clicking the settings icon on the right side, find under R for reset page, and I can drag that up to my toolbar, and then I can just click reset page, and what that's going to do is reset the page back to the way it was when I opened it or when I last saved it. Okay, so if I hit reset page, then it goes back to the way it was before. There's another one in here, this one's great because I'm moving things around. So I'm moving the coins into the cash register. Once I get 5 in there, then I can reset that page and have another student come up. Now again, I tend to teach most of my classes with the, there we go, I just click on the entire page button so I can see the entire page. I like to teach in full screen as much as possible. Well, now on my toolbar I don't have access to the reset page button. All I have to do is right click somewhere blank on the page, and in that drop down box is reset page. And then again, it's going to warn me just in case I don't want to, this is not something you can undo. So I reset my page. That's weird. And again, I can reset page, and it will reset the page back to the way it was when it was last open. So that allows you to play with a particular activity and then have multiple students come up and utilize that activity in class. And that's reset page. And then the next one is clear ink. And so this is kind of like reset page, but it doesn't reset it, it just erases everything. So it's as if I went through and erased everything really quick. That also could be added to the toolbar. Let's get my activity here. So here I've created a math shuffleboard. And so in this activity, what's going to happen is the students are going to throw the 3 pucks. So they take them and just flick them that way. Okay, and then they're going to take a pen and write the numbers that they got. Let's say 3, 3, and 3. Then they can add those up. We get 9, and then we're ready for the next student. Well, I could then erase everything a little bit faster by using the clear ink. Again, I could add that to the toolbar, or I can just right-click onto the somewhere blank on the page, and in the drop-down box we have clear ink from page, and it basically erases everything. You can undo that if you were to do that on accident. I could come in here and say undo, and it will put that back. So that's how you can utilize the clear ink function and the reset page to work with those files that you download off the Smart Exchange. So that is how we utilize the Smart Exchange, also including the clear ink from page and the reset page. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the other videos from this series.